My government's first priority will be to immediately start with labour-intensive projects that will create employment. And since a vast majority of our people in the four regions, the Kavango, the Caprivi, and I want to emphasize every time I say this, I'm talking about the Caprivi and not Zambezi. The Kavango and the Caprivi are traditionally agriculturalists. I will order the Ministry of Agriculture to set in motion plans to create as many irrigation projects as possible along our northern rivers and to assist the small-scale farmers with technical assistance, finance, equipment and good seeds to enlarge their fields so that they will be able to upgrade from existing farmers to productive, successful farmers that will in a short period of time be able to enjoy a better living condition than the one that just to survive from harvest to harvest. We will show in a short period of time that Namibia are not only able to be self-sufficient as far as food production is concerned, but to fulfill in the potential to become the breadbasket of the SADC region. This will be the quickest way in which to create tens of thousands of jobs. Another way to increase employment creation is to increase the number of teachers all over Namibia and to ensure that there are enough classrooms and hostel facilities to accommodate every single learner in classes that will accommodate not more than 25 learners per classroom. We will also employ enough nurses and doctors to ensure that our hospitals are properly functional to reduce the waiting period for people in need of medical care. At the same time, we will encourage foreign investors to invest in labor-intensive projects all over Namibia. I have to say this. It's easy to say that we will create jobs, or any political party going around and making promises that they will create 300,000 jobs and they will create this and they will create that. It's not so easy. It's not so easy. You cannot start up factories overnight and other businesses to employ people. That's why we said I will concentrate on agriculture at first and then we can build from there. The irresponsible manner in which the SWAPO government has lent money and borrowed money to finance their spending on so-called infrastructure projects has left Namibia with a massive debt that will need almost a miracle to repay, without having to sacrifice much needed future development. The only way in which this can be dealt with is to ensure that Namibia get the maximum income from its natural resources. I will put together a competent team of experts to evaluate operations of all the existing mines to determine the cost of the investment as well as the net profit they generated. Once they have managed to cover the investment, then we will sit around the table and renegotiate the profit share for the Namibian government, which will be no less than 80% of the net profit. We will also make it clear that we will decide to whom our natural resources are sold in order to maximize our profits. We are not interested to nationalize any mine because we are not interested in owning any share in a mine other than profit share. Once we are successful with this, we will be able to pay back our debt over a short period of time, especially to the World Bank, IMF, and the Chinese friends of SWAPO. I will have the allocations of resettlement farms and also those bought by the SWAPO elite with the support of the Agribank cancelled. The manner in which this government has dealt with land reform and resettlement is a disaster and only benefited the SWAPO elite, their friends, their families. We will take back all those farms at a reasonable price and start the process of resettlement all over again to ensure that capable black farmers are identified and assisted with finance, technical support, and for them to become successful contributors to our economy. I will put an embargo on all tenders awarded to Chinese companies for the existing and also for the existing tenders to be cancelled immediately. I will ensure that all tenders will be awarded to bona fide Namibian companies, and where needed, we will assist our companies who do have the technical skills to improve their capacity with financial support in order to take on any project. I will immediately investigate into the legality of the documentation of all the Chinese citizens, especially shop owners who are scattered all over Namibia. I believe that the vast majority will be found to either have achieved their documents in a corrupt manner, that they have no right to be here, taken away the jobs of our citizens. They will be requested to leave immediately. I will free all those in prison serving a sentence for their involvement in the failed secessionist attempt in 1999. The way in which the Justice Ministry, the Prosecutor General and the Schwab government, as well as our courts, have dealt with this issue is nothing but scandalous, to say the least. You remember that last week or the week before, 7 people were again charged after 14 years in prison. 14 years. And now they were charged, and some of them got, I think, 25 years, and 20, and 16. What are we doing? There are people sitting in jail at the moment, Geoffrey Malema and 4 others, sitting in jail now for 25 years. It is a scandal. It's all I can say. It is. I don't know where the problem lies. I wrote a letter to the former President Henk Mudge, and I'm going to send a letter to the current president, interim president, requesting him to release those people, for them to go home to their families. What happened 16 years ago, 25 years ago, surely those people cannot be a threat to anybody or anything. I think the Swabo government has made their point to make the people fearful. Whatever they do, that they can just come and put you in jail, sit and let you rot in jail for 15, 20 years, and then they will fine you another 20 or 30 years. I will ensure that the Public Service Act be changed in order to change the condition that executive directors as well as their deputies are appointed on a fixed term. It must be possible to fire any of them with immediate effect if it's clear that they are incompetent or if any of them are found to be involved in corrupt practices. I will put an embargo on the purchase of any appointment. I will put an embargo on any appointments in the public sector with a plan to reduce the public sector over a period of time by 50%. This government and this country cannot take this amount that is spent on public servants. We cannot afford that. I will also put an embargo on the purchase of any new vehicles for the government ministries, and I will have a forensic audit done as to the need for such vehicles at all ministries. No government official will be allowed to use a vehicle for anything else but his public duty. I will have a proper investigation done into the affairs of the Ministry of Home Affairs regarding the allocation of work, residential and citizen applications. There is, without any doubt, serious biased decisions taken, especially when it comes to white applicants. This is not a secret. I will disband all the so-called Reds and redirect their functions to Namibia, as it was. The establishments of the Reds was just another way of the Swabo government to create more jobs for their comrades. We will get rid of these third parties and ensure that electricity is sold to our citizens at the lowest possible price. I will dissolve the Anti-Corruption Commission and have competent people appointed. It is no secret that Mr. Noah and his team has totally failed in their responsibilities to ministers past and present as well as government officials, not been taken to court and be sent to prison. people who we know were corrupt and are corrupt and involved in corrupt dealings. I will do whatever possible to dissolve the regional councils and for the regions to appoint their own governors. The National Council can be constituted by the election of 2 councillors for each region, elected by the region. I would dissolve the Electoral Commission of Namibia because it was clearly demonstrated during the last few days that they are not impartial and became a tool for SWAPO to regain their majority in Parliament at all cost. The current ECN showed clearly that they cannot be trusted. Ladies and gentlemen, there are a number of issues that will be addressed, but you should have noticed that all my intended changes will be to curb corruption and the government spending and to ensure that Namibians will benefit from all sectors. I thank you.